Hello everybody, I'm Heather and I'm here for Strathmore Library's Nighttime Tales. Welcome, I'm glad you're here this evening, whether you're tuning in live now within a couple minutes or if you're watching the replay later on. Thanks for being here. I've got Pippin, my sidekick, here with me. She's laying down, being a little quiet pup today. Pippin, can you look at it, everybody? We'll see how much she interacts today, but she usually enjoys coming up and hanging out for a little while anyways. I see we've got someone is live. Awesome. So if you're here live, let me know you're here and introduce yourself and say who's watching. Say your kids' names if you want. I'll give you a shout out. I'll say hello. And yeah, just to say hi again, I'm Heather. Oh, there, her nose is poking in the screen down here. There we go. And this is Pippin. And today's theme is penguins. So we've got a couple penguin books that we're going to read. Pippin, you're facing the wrong way. Everybody's over here. Can you turn around? Good girl. Sit. Good girl. That's better. Oh, shake a paw. Thank you. Good job. So we're going to start with our hello song. We'll get our clapping hands ready. And usually Pippin gets a little alarmed by the song. So here we go. It goes, bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Let's say hello as quietly as we can. Hello. Bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Let's say hello as loudly as we can. Hello. Bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Let's say hello as quickly as we can. Hello. Bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Let's say hello as slowly as we can. Hello. Good job, everybody. Hope you sang along with me if you know my song. And I see some more people have tuned in, so if you're here and you want to say hi, let me know you're watching. I'd love to give you a shout out. So we're going to start with our first penguin book for our penguin theme. And this one is called Little Penguin Stays Awake by Tad, I don't know how to say that name. It's T-A-D-G-H, and Bentley is the last name. So I'm just going to flip the camera around here so that our printing is not backwards. Here we go. And Pippin's just wandering around. She's sniffing some things here. So she may join in. We'll see. Little Penguin Stays Awake. Oh, hello. I don't suppose you've seen any shooting stars this evening. I have a very important wish. Yawn. And I need a shooting star to make it come true. You see, we penguins are very good at swimming and waddling and eating chili. But there's one thing we can't do. Fly. I've always dreamed of spreading my flippers and flying with my friends. If I wish on a shooting star, my dream has to come true. There's just one problem. Penguins have very early bedtimes, and shooting stars don't come out until late at night. I've never stayed up this late before, and I'm not sure I can do it. Kenneth and Franklin have tried all sorts of things to keep me awake, but nothing has worked. So we've got, I don't know who Kenneth and Franklin are, but there's some whales here. Maybe that's them. They're juggling. He's got a bowl of chili over here. They're playing volleyball or something. We'll see. So now, yawn. Maybe you can help. If you see me fall asleep, shout, "Wake up, little penguin!" Okay, guys, you can do that at home. Now, you can't go to sleep without closing your eyes. So I've decided I'm not going to close mine. Not even to blink or anything. Ready? Open your eyes wide. Wider, wider. Don't blink. Snore. What do we say? Uh-oh, did he fall asleep? Wake up, little penguin. there's his friends. He's got his bird friend and his whale friend. He woke up. Maybe a little exercise will do the trick. Let's try some stretches. Stretch your flippers up high. Stretch them to the side. Stretch far down low. Snore. Uh-oh. What do we say? Wake up, little penguin! Oh, it's awake. Arg! The shooting stars are still nowhere in sight, and I don't think I can stay awake much longer. What should I try next? His friends even look pretty sleepy now here. Maybe jumping jacks will wake me up. 1 jumping jack, 2 jumping jacks, 3 jumping jacks. Snore. Uh-oh. Wake up, little penguin. Uh-oh. His friends are asleep too, it looks like. And we didn't yell loud enough. He's still sleeping. Look, his friends are asleep, and look at all the shooting stars he's missing. Snore. Snore! Oh, that woke him up. Kenneth, Franklin, the stars, they're here. I made it. Oh, thank you ever so much. Now I can finally make my wish. Uh-oh. He's dreaming. Look, he has fallen asleep again just before he can make his wish, but he's dreaming he's flying. Wow. And his friends are flying with him, even the whale. The end. Maybe penguins just aren't meant to fly. We'll find out in our next book as well, because this one is all about a penguin who thought he could fly. So we'll get there, but we'll flip this around for a minute, and I'm going to show you the craft supplies you will need for our craft later today. So this is what we're going to be making at the end of program here, and it's a water bottle penguin, and we can make this into a sensory bottle too, so we can put whatever kind of stuffing in there you want. So you can use the photo shows examples of cotton balls being in the water bottle, but I don't have cotton balls, so I'm going to shred up some paper towel to put in my water bottle. You could use bits of fabric or felt or paper even, whatever you have to put in your water bottle. You'll also need an empty clear plastic water bottle like this, and you will need scissors, some tape and a pencil, and you will need some felt to do the scarf and the hat, and you'll need some black paper to do the flippers and the head. I've also got this polka dot pattern because I had a scrap of it. Oh, I left my orange scrap of paper over here. 1 second. Reach. Okay, and I've got this orange scrap of paper as well that I'm going to use for the feet and the beak. Here they use yellow. You can use either. And that's about it. Oh, also a little piece of string of some kind to tie around the top of the hat. So those are the supplies you'll need. You can gather them while we are listening to the next story if you like. But first, before our next story, we are going to do a little yoga pose. So let's see, what pose will we do? How about I always, when we do this program in person, it's been a long time since then, but I always let the kids choose the pose, so I am very indecisive. I can't choose the pose very well. Let's just do this one, belly breathing. So we're going to sit with our legs crossed. I know you can't see my legs right now, but my legs are crossed down here. And I'm going to sit up nice and tall, and we're going to put our hands together in the middle like this, sit up as tall as we can, and we'll take some deep breaths. So breathe in and out, and in and out. Good job, everybody. Hope you liked the belly breathing pose. So we're going to read our second book, and then we'll be on to our craft for the night. So, flip you around again here. There we go. So this one is called Geronimo, the penguin who thought he could fly. And this is by David Williams. And it's a hilarious picture book from #1 best-selling David Williams. And this particular one has a CD inside. So I believe the CD, it's the book on CD, and it's read by the author, so that's pretty cool. Illustrated by Tony Ross. We won't be using the CD today, but if you want to request this book on TrackPack, you can borrow this book from the library. Geronimo. At the bottomest bottom of the world lived a huge colony of emperor penguins. All the eggs were being kept warm by their dads when one baby penguin hatched. His name was Geronimo. So that's a fun fact, that the dad penguins take care of the eggs. That's pretty cool. Here's little baby Geronimo. "Let's fly," he announced, flapping his wings as fast as he could. "Penguins can't fly, son," replied his father. "Of course they can, Dad. Otherwise, what have we got wings for? Watch." With his feet as skis, the baby penguin used a snowy slope as a runway. "Geronimo!" he cried as he sped faster and faster and faster. He hit a bump on the slope and took off. Whiz! Oh boy, he has some pretty tiny little wings for the size of his body. Even if penguins could fly, I feel like a baby penguin couldn't fly. For a few glorious seconds, Geronimo sailed through the air. "Dad, look, I can fly!" The baby frantically flapped his wings before dropping through the air like a stone. He landed in the freezing cold sea with a plop. Oh no. At least he had a soft landing in the ocean. "You see, son, penguins can't fly," said Dad. Geronimo looked sad. "But it's all I dream about, Dad. There must be a way for my dream to come true." Geronimo spied an elephant seal dozing on the ice. He leaped onto the seal's big wobbly tummy to use as a trampoline and launched himself into the air. "Boing! Dad, look, I can fly," said Geronimo. Oof! Before landing in the deep snow with a thud. There again. At least he had a kind of soft landing. This elephant seal, I don't think, would be too pleased. Next, Geronimo paddled out to sea and clambered on top of a big blue whale sitting right on top of his blowhole. Splurt! Air shot at Geronimo's bottom and blasted him into the sky like a rocket. "Dad, look, I can fly!" As soon as the whale stopped blowing, Geronimo plummeted. The angry whale flicked its tail, swish, batting the little penguin across the sky. "Dad, look, I can!" Before he could say fly, he slammed straight into an iceberg. Doof! Oh, he's getting lots of attempts. He's very creative, isn't he? His dad had to give him beak-to-beak resuscitation. "It's time to give up on your dreams, son." "Never, Dad. Dreams can come true. I know it." Every night when Dad tucked Geronimo under his ice sheet, the baby penguin would dream the same dream. A flight of soaring high in the air, swooping and twirling, touching clouds, the king of the sky. His dad had had that dream too when he was young. The next morning, Geronimo leaped on the back of an unsuspecting albatross. "Look, Dad, I can fly!" But not for long. The overloaded albatross crashed headfirst into a pod of baby seals, knocking them in the sea like bowling pins. Boom, boom, boom! Splash, splish, splash! Oh no. Poor albatross, poor baby seals. The Emperor Penguin turned to Dad. "You have to tell your son once and for all, penguins can't fly." With a heavy heart, Dad told his son, "No more trying to fly, Geronimo. The dream is over." Dad felt awful as a single tear rolled down his son's face. So awful that later that night, while Geronimo was sleeping, he called a meeting of the whole colony. "Fellow penguins, are we sure it is absolutely impossible for us to fly?" "Yes, of course," barked the Emperor Penguin again. "There must be a way," replied Dad. "No, never, fool. Didn't you ever dream of flying?" asked Dad. This silenced the colony. They had all had that dream when they were young. "Let's put our bird brains together and see," said Dad. That's exactly what they did. By the time the sun came up, the colony had a plan. I wonder what they came up with. When Geronimo woke that morning, the strangest sight greeted him. The entire colony of penguins was upside down. "What's happened?" asked Geronimo. "What do you mean, what's happened?" replied Dad, who, like all the others, was standing on his head. "You are all upside down. Look at them. What does it look like?" "Oh, they're all standing on their heads. Interesting." "No, you're upside down. Come, jump off the ice and you will soar into the sky." Dad pointed at the sea. "Yes," replied the whole colony. "Yes, that's the sky," said the Emperor Penguin, pointing at the sea. "Now, come on, Geronimo," said Dad. Show us that dreams can come true, that penguins really can fly." So, with that, Geronimo made a giant leap. Splash! They're pretending the ocean is the sky. That's very creative. The little penguin flapped his wings and zoomed through the water, thinking it was the sky. "I can fly! I can fly! I can fly!" he yelled. On Dad's signal, the colony dived in too. Splish, splash, splosh! Dad held his son's wings. The pair shared a smile. Together they looped the loop, very nearly bumping into an iceberg. "Be careful of the clouds," called out Dad. They passed a killer whale. "Dad, why is that whale floating upside down in the sky?" asked Geronimo. "He must have jumped," said Dad. Oh. Dad watched with pride as his son soared up, up, up. "Dad, look, I can fly. I'm king of the sky." Sometimes, with a little help and some upside-down penguins, dreams really can come true. The end. That is a cute one. So Geronimo figured out how he could fly after all. Very cool. So, all right. Hello again, everybody. I've got some live viewers here. That's awesome. If you want to introduce yourself, let me know who you are and who's watching, and I'll give you a shout out here. And we are going to share some penguin facts, and then we're going to do our craft together. So now is the perfect time to get your craft supplies together if you need to. And my fun penguin facts. So A group of penguins that is in the water is called a raft, but on land they're called a waddle. That's pretty cool. Other names for a group of penguins include a rookery, colony, and huddle. So in that book, they called them a colony, didn't they? Most birds have hollow air-filled bones to help them stay light for flight, but penguins have adapted with solid bones instead, which helps them swim because solid bones reduce buoyancy, which is the tendency to float. So their solid, heavier bones help them dive deep into the water. Oh, yay, Addie is watching. Thanks for being here. Addie and Eris, maybe. Oh, Analysis and Justice watching. Hi guys, I'm glad you're here. All right, and my last fact is that penguins live in many locations throughout the world and many different habitats. So you can find them in Antarctica, which is the very southern part of the world, just like they talked about in the Geronimo book. You can also find them on Antarctic islands, the Galapagos Islands, which are off the coast of Ecuador, so that's a much warmer place. Oh, okay, so Ariana, not Addie. Gotcha. Thanks for being here, Ariana, or Ariana. Apologies if I missaid it, but glad you're here. Thanks for watching. And they can also live in South Africa, New Zealand, Australia, Peru, and Chile. So there's tons of different penguins that like all different habitats, and some of those penguins actually like warm weather because in most of the images and books that we see, there's penguins in the snow, right? That's what we usually hear about for penguins. Okay, so we are going to get on to our craft. So I'm going to place the camera here. So there, hopefully you can see a little bit. I know it's kind of dark, so apologies for that. But what we're going to do first, you're going to need your clear water bottle, your pieces of paper, so you'll need some black and some orange paper. I've also got polka dot, which I'm using for black as well. For the penguin scarf and hat, you'll need some felt or fabric, or you could use paper as well. And a piece of string. Oh, Zach is here too, says he's enjoying. Thanks so much for being here, Zach. I'm glad to have you. Scissors, pencil, and tape you'll also need, as well as something to stuff into your water bottle, something white, more preferably. So I've got some paper towel. You could use some cotton balls, you could use some ripped up bits of paper, whatever you have. So we're going to take our empty water bottle, and I'm going to just shred up my paper towel into smaller bits, and then we're going to stick it into our water bottle. So this penguin craft also doubles as a sensory bottle. So you can fill this with whatever sort of sensory things you want. If it's white, it's going to look more like the body of a penguin, but it doesn't totally have to be white. You could do something else if you wanted. So you can put really whatever you want in here. I'm going to stick my paper towel all in there, get it down into the bottom. There we go. There's still a bit of moisture in my water bottle, but that's okay. Penguin, not penguin, Pippin, my dog, is enjoying watching me do this. She has not participated as much as she does some nights, but she is still here with me, so she loves being here at Nighttime Tales and hanging out with us all, so hopefully she'll enjoy this craft as well. I'll show you her reaction to it when I'm done making it here. So I think that's pretty much good. So I had a half paper towel to start with, and then I ripped my other one in half. So this is one whole paper towel in there, and I think that's pretty good. So I'm gonna put the lid back on, and next we're going to make the flippers of the penguin. So for this part, I think we'll wrap the paper around for the back of the penguin. So I'm going to just cut this off. You don't need to use pattern paper. I just happen to have this, so that's what I'm using. But you can use solid black construction paper would be great, or whatever you happen to have. So I'm cutting out a rectangle that's about the height of my water bottle here, and this is going to be my penguin's back. So I'm just going to tape that on, and if you have a strong glue that would work, that's also a good idea. I think I'll just use a long piece of tape to go all, well, that didn't work. I wanted this one piece of tape to reach over to this corner here, but never mind. I'm going to get another piece of tape and attach that part. There we go. I think if it wraps around further, it's more likely to hold on, so we'll see. Then I'm going to tape right here before the water bottle starts curving. And same on this other side. Oh, it's sticking to me. So I'll tape it there as well. And this is popping up a little, so I'll put some more tape there. Clear tape is the best thing to use for this if you have it. I'm just using some Scotch tape to tape my penguin's back. And then I'm going to use a couple more pieces to kind of tape down these corners so that it's folded down. And I can make a little slit here in the back to fold that in so that it fits around the water bottle a little better, and I'll tape that part as well. So I've got my water bottle half wrapped in that paper. Now we're going to make the flippers of the penguin. So I'm going to just, you could draw these out. I'm just going to eyeball and cut out some flipper shapes. So there's my first flipper, and then I'm going to just cut a second one close to the same size and shape by just holding it up to the paper. There we go. So I've got my two flippers here, and we're going to tape those on as well. So just get our tape here and tape it on, and I'm gonna put a piece under the wing or the flipper as well, just like that. So there's one flipper, and we'll do the second flipper on the other side here, just like this. Whoop. Stay tape. So there, now he's got his flippers, and they can flap if you go like this, so that's super fun. Now for the head of my penguin, I'm going to use this solid black paper, and I'm going to just cut a strip the height of the head, and I'm going to wrap it around the cap of the water bottle like this, and we're going to tape it at the back, just turning it so that the seam of that is is at the back here. We're going to tape that as well. Put my tape there. Perfect. So that is our penguin's head, and now we can make our little penguin accessories. So we're going to make some penguin feet and a little penguin beak. So for the beak, I think I just cut a triangle there, and then for the feet I'm going to draw them because I think that will help me know what shape I want. I'm going to kind of have them attached together so that it's less cutting to do. So there, I drew that shape, and I'm not going to cut them separate. I'm going to keep them as one piece so that we just have one thing to tape on instead of two. So here's my little penguin flipper feet, and it doesn't matter what this part looks like because it's going to get taped to the bottom of the water bottle. So take some more tape here and attach our feet. So there, and they stick out as our penguin is standing. So he's starting to come along. Now we just need a penguin hat and a penguin scarf. So I'm going to use my felt here and cut a long skinny strip for the scarf, about that long enough to be able to tie it around. I could have gone even longer actually, but I think I can still get this to tie. There we go. So there's my penguin's little scarf. Get him all centered up here, and I'm gonna grab some glue actually to glue on the beak. So here I'm just using some of my liquid glue, and then we'll glue on his beak. Just like that. Mine's pointing down. You could make it point to the side if you wanted. Now we're going to make our little penguin hat. So for the hat, you're going to want a larger rectangle like this. So about this size, long enough to wrap around the top of your penguin's head. And so I'm going to measure it up on his head, roll it into a tube like this, and then take my string and just tie it at the top of the tube. And I can tie that in a knot and cut off the extra string. And then we've got our little hat here. So we'll put the seam part at the back, and it can just sit on there like that. And I don't have any googly eyes, but you can add googly eyes to your penguin, or you can make some eyeballs using some paper, whatever you want to do. So this is our finished penguin sensory bottle. His hat just fell off. You could tape or glue his hat on if you wanted to, but this is what he looks like. Here, I'll flip this around and hold him up so you can see a little better. There we go. Pippin's still just relaxing over here. So here is our penguin sensory bottle, and his wings flap, his feet flap if he wants to swim. So that is the craft. I hope you enjoyed the craft. Feel free to keep working on yours if you're not done yet. But I hope you enjoyed this penguin theme as well. Pippin and I certainly had fun hanging out with you tonight. She's a little tired, it seems like. She's ready for bed now that we've read all our bedtime stories. So I hope you guys are ready for bed as well. Thanks so much for joining me tonight, and thank you if you're watching the replay later on YouTube or here on Facebook as well. And have a great night. We'll see you next week.